we a culture, keep the big shoes. One set of girls and banner. Cause I done fed up, you done fed up, he done fed up, she done fed up, we done fed up, the people fed up. You hiding corruption inside the cup, look how evil set up. The people fed up. Every picture you take and promise you make, everything you do is about clouds. Then you come into me for I shake your hand, there's nothing to smile about. Corruption inside every sector, but when it comes to them they send you. Try investigate efficiency, right? Go talk to Baratans too. Cause I done fed up, you done fed up, he done fed up, she done fed up, we done fed up, the people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup, look how evil set up. The people fed up.
Yeah, my name is Jacinty Caldata Francis Vietnam, and since 1965 I become a voter, and I always place my X next to the cup, and what they are doing today I can't take it, so I have no more vote to give to PPP anymore. I'm not going to vote anymore no more. If they have to lose by one vote, they're losing it by data.
There and fabricate that. Unless you say who the person is, I can't comment on anonymous people.
Okay, well, let's talk about specific individuals. What is your relationship with Mr. Su Jurong?
Su? Oh, Su.
A pleasant good evening, everyone, on this on this June 6th. This 6th month, the 21st day, 2025. Look, guys, I started a bit there because I was tuned in on that short Barra Jagdio clip. Okay. All right, guys. Good evening. Good evening. Welcome to Over to You. I am your host, Wayne Caesar. It's a pleasure being here. Thank you all for allowing Bench Up Radio and Over to You into your homes this Saturday evening. Welcome, 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 everyone. There's a lot to discuss this evening, okay? There's a lot to discuss. Over to You, a show by the people, for the people. Please go ahead, do your little administrative duty. This is your investment. This is your program. Please like and share the link. Welcome, welcome, welcome. While you guys do that, I'm going to go ahead and do this evening's roll call, okay? All right. Again, good evening, everyone, and I hope each and everyone is having a pleasant weekend thus far. Out here in the Northeast, it appears as if we're going through a bit of a heat wave. But otherwise, so that is good. I like the heat anyway, so it's a good thing. All right. Let's go through the roll call. A pleasant good evening to Dr. Victor Ben. Welcome to Over to You. Dr. Vashti Magnot, welcome. Welcome to the program. Dr. Sandra Hanover, welcome to the program. Dr. Ann Kitt, Dr. Rosemary Martindale Brackett, welcome to the program. Dr. Mary Figueroa, Dr. Paula Mattis Peters, welcome to the program. Dr. Aileen Norton, welcome to the program. Dr. Dawn Sampson, Dr. Angela Ben, Dr. Rajendra Dinot, Dr. Desiree Smart Felix, by way of New Amsterdam, residing in Canada. Oh, yes. She sent me some strong emails. There's no way that Canada is becoming a 51st state. Okay. Dr. Yvonne Rodriguez, Dr. Harriet All, welcome, welcome. Dr. Sharon Griffith, Dr. Matthew Dennison. All right. Welcome, welcome. Dr. Ann John. Oh, boy. Can't make a mistake and not call her name. It'll be the end of the world. Dr. Bill Cato. Welcome to the program. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Dr. Rastaman, yes, in the house. Dr. 1A Morris, welcome. Dr. Dorcas John, Dr. Deborah Clark, Dr. Brenda Braithwaite, welcome to the program. Dr. Sharma E. Melville, welcome to the program. Dr. Fidel Albert, Dr. Denise Booker, welcome to the program. All the doctors are in the house this evening. Dr. Joy Phillips, Dr. Magnell Barrow, welcome, 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 welcome. All the honorable doctors, Dr. Eon Harry, Dr. Audrey Brown, Dr. Pinky Kerr, Dr. Claire Capel, Dr. Rodwell Bourne, welcome. Dr. Vashti McNaught, I think I've called her name earlier. Dr. Leighton K. Charles, Honorable. Dr. Littell Prick, welcome, sir, my honorable accounting brother. Good to see you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Chandrapal Mahabir, Dr. Desiree Simons, welcome, welcome. If I didn't call your name, I'm so sorry. Dr. Oren Paris, Dr. AB, Dr. Ainsworth McKen, welcome, welcome, welcome everyone to the program. How are you guys doing? I know this week was a very eventful week, and we're gonna discuss a few things. Okay, we're gonna touch some areas today that might become a bit touchy. Okay, but we gotta understand this. Our goal is for a better Guyana. We have to understand what our goal is, and the aim, all right, is for a better Guyana. So everything that is going to be discussed tonight is going to be aligning with Guyana essentially becoming a better nation, a prosperous nation that equates to prosperity for its people instead of the poverty that they have been experiencing. Okay? So let's get into it. Okay, Dr. Maxine Monroe, we're going to get into it, and Dr. Harriet Hall. All right, we're going to dig in. All right, so we had some movements, right? We had some movements this week. I wouldn't call it, we had defectors this week, because you can't call that a defection. Okay, it's not someone leaving the opposition and going to the PPP. All right, it's someone leaving the opposition to possibly start their own party. The party already has a name and has already been established. So I want to start off by saying this. All right, there should be no bashing of the Honorable Amanzo Walton this year. If you've done it, if you intend to do it, or if you're doing it, I ask that you desist. All right? We have to think here. This is a person who was serving on the side of the PNCR, right? We cannot be convenient. We got to understand that everyone, while we may have goals as a group, people have their individual goals also. And we have to keep that in mind. All right? We have to keep that in mind. With that being said, all right, with the Honorable Amanzo Walton this year moving on from the PNCR to start our own party, right? We have to understand this. All the MPs are different, okay? Amanzo's speed and her drive may not be the drive of, let's say, the Honorable Annette Ferguson, who just loves to campaign and work, right? Amanzo sees herself as a leader. And when I say leader, I don't mean as an MP leading a constituency. As a leader, as an overall general leader. I'm not going to say that she's not. What I am going to say is that that comes with time. And I did a little bit of research on this. I go back to see how long Amanza has been a part of the party and this type of stuff. And listen, what I see through my binoculars is not necessarily what Amanza is seeing through her binoculars. But what I'm merely going to do here is just do a quick dissection of what I see through my binoculars. To me, I believe in order to be a leader, one force has to be led. Okay? And is in that process of being led, that's where you get your experience and you learn your craft. It doesn't matter what the leadership over you looks like. You are there to dissect and learn. Okay? There are going to be pros and cons in this process. There are certain things that you may see in your leader that you may like, and you say, okay, this is something that I can use when my turn comes. And there are things that you are going to see that you're definitely not going to be in agreement with. And those you leave them to the side. All right? I would have hoped in this short period of time that Amanza Walton this year would have been a part of the party, that she would have learned those things. And if it's that she has seen, then kudos to her. But I'm saying this, leadership comes with time. Okay? Leadership comes with time. All right. That being said, we cannot look at the PNCR party and say honestly that there have not been some measure of hemorrhaging in that party. Okay, there has been. But upon this announcement of the Honorable former MP, Amanza Walton this year, I believe that the PNCR made a critical counter. All right? And the critical counter is that the PNCR wasn't able to add the Honorable Member of Parliament, Cheryl Duncan, the Honorable Member of Parliament, Jaretta Fernandes, and the Honorable Member of Parliament, Ricky Ramsrud. They were able to add them to the APNU. And that was massive. Because let's put it into context. All right? With Jaretta Fernandes being named as the prime ministerial candidate. That is critical. That is critical. It shows diversity in a lot of different ways. From an ethnic perspective, all right? The fact of the matter that she is a female, she is a mother, she is married, all right? Additional qualities. She has a mathematical and an economic compass in that she have a master's degree in economics. All right. I love that. She works very, very hard. Well spoken. And she has presence. Those are qualities that are needed in a prime minister. Very, very well spoken. And she always picks her words very, very carefully. Very articulate. All right. Saying that, not to put down the Honorable Amanza Walton this year. Okay? I'm not saying that she's not qualified to be a prime ministerial or a presidential candidate. But I'm saying I like the pick. It's a very good pick. All right. And I believe that it's going to pay great dividends to the opposition. Now, let's move on to the next individual who would have moved into APNU, the Honorable Sherrod Duncan. Now, it's a massive loss for the AFC because we all know that Sherrod Duncan has a massive following. All right. And that's a big gain for APNU. Because with Sherrod Duncan comes a crowd along with his competencies. All right. We all know that Sherrod has his degrees in communications and all these things. So he's definitely a massive asset to the Comrade Aubrey C. Norton-led coalition. He has a great understanding with the people. He's in touch with the people. And he'll do massive things come campaign time. He has a voice. And I'm going to move to the Honorable Member of Parliament, Ricky Ramsaru. It's hard to outwork that guy. He has character. And to me, everything starts with character and ends with character. He has a great relationship with the people on the ground. He's a people's person. Right? So he brings that added value to the opposition. Also, he's Guyanese of East Indian descent. So he also brings that ethnic balance. All right? Because we know Guyana is a country with 6 ethnic groups. You need to see a balanced government. So this is all played out good. And not to forget, Dr. Paul Williams. You know, look, Paul Williams has been skipped over so many times. Okay? That is the guy that should have been the commissioner of police in Guyana instead of Clifton Hicken. Dr. Paul Williams, let me say it correctly. All right? But they got a saying, will miss you, don't pass you. So to Dr. Williams, here comes your opportunity. Okay? And I know the Paul and Paul show would be a great show for Guyana when it comes to reforming the Guyana police force. Meaning Paul Slow and Paul Williams, along with Mr. Conway. These are the type of people you need in place to reform the Guyana police force. So all of these choices are great, 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 strong choices for APNU. Strong, strong, strong choices. So while the optics might tell you, okay, the PNCR is hemorrhaging, yes, to a point, but maybe hemorrhaging is a good thing for the party when you look at it holistically. Okay? Hemorrhaging is a good thing. I see also Mr. Ronald Balkan would have left along. Well, he hasn't left. He's left the PNC, but he's going to be, aligning himself with the Honorable Amanzo Walton this year. And here's one of the things why I'm telling you guys, do not be critical of Amanzo, because look, we cannot be convenient that way. When somebody's working for us, we are all good. Okay? But when that person has made a decision to move on, we're upset. Amanzo have not moved on away from the people. She has moved away from the PNC party. But like a 400 meter, remember the 400 meter is a race. That where the race starts is exactly where the race ends, right? Because it's one lap around the track. So Amanzo can form her party and come right around. And her party aligned right in with APNU under the leadership of Comrade Norton. And then if you bash her, how is everybody going to feel if that happens? Right? So our actions today determines our tomorrow. So I believe that we should just sit back and let this whole thing play out. Okay? We should not slander anyone. Just let the whole thing play out. All right? So there were movements back and forth. Some people applaud the move by the PNCR. Some people applaud the move by Amanda Walton this year. That being all said and done, those are all internal moves. I believe what everyone is waiting for is the external moves. That's what I'm trying to say is, when is the opposition going to line up the PPP and let's charge? You know, it's what? The 21st of June. Right? What do we have? 9 weeks? Approximately. We got to get going. All right. Last week I was going through my comments. Eon Bino, I don't know if Eon is here tonight, but Eon asked a question. You know, Eon said, Wayne, when is the first opposition rally? Is that a good question? It's an excellent question. Because what he's trying to say is boots on the ground. What are we waiting for now? There's a platter right in front of us. We need to go and retrieve that platter. How can you have a platter sitting in front of you and you're arguing over the platter we should be eating? There is no more time to waste now. Right? There shouldn't be a massive push by social media as to when the first rallies go. These are internal things. This should be coming out from the internal workings of the party. There is no more time to waste. We look, we are 2 months out. What we going to do? We're going to shuffle around and move things around until the 24th hour. I understand that the parties was given a very, very short period to get ready for these elections. And that was purposely done by Claudette Singh and the GCOM apparatus, which by extension is an extension of the PPPC. Right? Before I go forward on this, let me pivot quickly because I must do this. I must do this. The AFC. I am filled with disappointment. Now, this party is the party that is responsible for the coalition being out of power, right? At the end of 2020, with what Charandas Prasad would have done. I want you guys to walk through this scenario with me. All right? Walk through this scenario with me. We are now coming into the 2025 elections. How can you, as a party, come back to the table and making the demands that the AFC would have made? The moves were horrible. The wait that the Guyanese people had to wait was disappointing. It made the negotiator, the negotiators, and the leader of the AFC look very, very, very bad. Because the AFC deeply believed that they had value that they actually did not have. Okay? It's like you're thinking that an investment is worth $100 and the investment is actually worth 50 cents. The AFC did not have any bargaining power whatsoever, and the PNCR They recognize that. They recognize that, and rightfully so. Rightfully so. But that being said, ladies and gentlemen, to have a 30% offer on the table and you walk away from it, really? An opportunity to go back into government, rebuild and rebrand yourself, you have walked away from, and now you get to sit there with absolutely nothing. I am not comfortable and confident that the AFC can win a seat. I would be lying to you guys if I tell you, if I would have told you that tonight. With Sherrod Duncan, Chirito Fernandez, and Ricky Ramsaroop, those young MPs in the loop, I was saying 2 seats. But my goodness, the AFC may have just dissolved themselves. And this is exactly what I was fearful of. And why? I understand that the stakes are high. And the stakes are going to be high for a while. Right? You guys see there's war going on between Iran and Israel. Guyana oil has value. As long as these things are going on around the world, Russia, Ukraine, Iran, Israel, Guyana's oil has value. The AFC has now been left on the outside, looking in. Don't be mad with the Honorable Sherrod Duncan, Honorable Chirito Fernandez, and Honorable Ricky Ramsaroop. They want a coalition. That's what the people want. They want what the people want. And that's the thing I'm talking about. All leaders, all the leaders have to align with what the people want. It's about the people of Guyana. It's not about individual needs and wants. Well, I hope that the AFC can rekindle something, because right now, that's a party that's in the ER on life support. And it's a shame. It's a crying shame. I'm gonna pull back into the deeper politics a little later on in the broadcast. But I wanted to touch a little bit on Adriana Young, guys. All right. This young 11-year-old Guyanese child that's about to be laid to rest tomorrow. I'll tell you guys something. It's sad. It's sad. This story has taken so many twists and turns that I don't want to comment too much on it, but to say that I am very, very, very disappointed that there have not been any closure whatsoever. 2 different autopsies, no proper investigation has been done. The Guyanese public is just left to ponder what happened, what may have happened, it's a mystery right now. And I'm hoping that it doesn't continue to be a mystery. I hope that the family, however, whomever it is, would have been responsible for the death of that child. I don't care who it is. To be honest, I don't care who it is. An 11-year-old child that is dead. And we want answers. All right? We want proper answers. It doesn't matter how many twists and turns this story takes. It does not dismiss the dereliction of duty by the Guyana Police Force and by extension, the PPPC government and their installed President Irfaan Ali. It does not. Okay? It does not eliminate any of them. They are all in cahoots. All right? They are all in cahoots. I ask people on the ground in Guyana to join the family tomorrow. And, wherever on social media the funeral service and burial will be broadcast, I ask that everybody take some time out of their day and join in and give their support for this little angel that's going to be laid to rest tomorrow. All right. I think that's all I want to say on that issue for now. Mark has been working that, and we'll get more. You guys stay tuned during the week on the Straight Up program, and you will continue to get updates with regards to Adriana Young. I think I'm seeing Mary Figueroa saying that Sandy's funeral home is where she's going to be. All right. Look, my friend Latik, my friend Latel Perky saying, I don't want to discuss the situation of Adriana's brutal murder. May our soul rest in peace. The Guyana Police Force and the PPP, Jagdeo, Anil Nadalal, criminal architecture must be held to account. We must never forget. Correct, Latel. Correct, my brother. I could not agree with this comment more. We will never forget. As long as I'm doing a program and has a voice, I am going to let my voice be heard, calling for justice for Adriana Young. She never asked to be taken out of this world, and whomever would have done it needs to come to justice. That's just the fact. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we will continue with the remainder of the show now. All right. Elections. We don't have a new voters list. We don't have biometrics. What do you guys think? We have been calling for this for 5 years. We didn't get it, right? We didn't get it. Where does this put Guyana? Where does this put the electorate? How does the electorate feel about this? I want to believe that the electorate is very angry. And Barry Jagdeo, I can quote him. As saying on his press conference, it doesn't matter what the general opposition does. They cannot win this upcoming regional and general elections. Now, how can you come out and make such a bold statement? What is it that Barry Jagdeo knows that none of us here know? Is Barry Jagdeo part of the rigging team? Okay. You guys have passed $1 trillion budgets for the last 3 years. And nothing in those budgets were ever allocated to reforming GCOM. At the 2020 elections, we had the scrutineers like Maya Motley and all these oversight, the ambassadors and everybody was all up in the election cook-up. I am sure that they're all aware of all the anomalies, okay, that would have came out of that recount. And you are telling me that no one had the testicular fortitude to tell the PPP that, hey, you guys cannot call elections until these issues are addressed. I asked the question. Is it by chance or is it a strategic move? You guys tell me. I'll check your comments. Let me see what I'm seeing. Is it by chance or is it a strategy? It cannot be by chance. It has to be strategic. And like I've said before, I've always called shame on those external forces. I've always called shame on them. Because they are missing the plight of the normal Guyanese. They are missing the plight of the normal Guyanese. When you go and you sit down in a conference room with the PPP, you do not see the 53% of Guyanese living in poverty. You do not see that. And that is exactly what you guys are missing. Claudette Singh, you are disingenuous. You have denied every single Guyanese their democratic right to a free and fair election. Nobody cannot blame the Honorable David Granger anymore. It's all on you now. The last 5 years, Claudette Singh, you've been sitting there. You had the opportunity, okay, to fix things that weren't properly in place. All right. And you know what? Everybody calls out, and I calling out Claudette Singh tonight and putting the blame on Claudette Singh and stuff like that. But I remember a young woman by the name of, what was her name? Yolanda Ward. Whatever happened to Yolanda Ward? Is she still a part of GCOM? You know, because they were touting her an upcoming star. She was so transparent during the recount and these type of things. Whatever happened to her? Because you know what, brothers and sisters, I'm going to say this tonight. A lot of Guyanese have lost their morals. There's no morals and values anymore. Okay? There's no conscience. People don't have conscience anymore. Cockroachy that out, morals and values were taken and thrown in the trash. It doesn't exist anymore. For Claudette Singh to sit down on a salary for 5 years and can't show us what she has accomplished in those 5 years when it comes to electoral reform, when it comes to making the GCOM apparatus, you know, more fair, democratic, you know, there's nothing to show. And that sits fine with everyone. That is just good and dandy with everyone. I tell you something. And to those external ambassadors and stuff who on the ground in Guyana and, you know, dictate terms, talk about, oh, the list was good. I saw the lady Jane Miller. She was like, oh, this is a good list. and at the time that she said, I beg to ask the question, what knowledge did Jane Miller had about the list? That she could have said that the list is a good list. What knowledge did she have of that list? Vashti McNaught, you are correct. You're correct. Take GCOM to court. We had 5 years to do that. We had 5 years to do that. Ladies and gentlemen, you know me. I'm straight with my words. That's a failure on the side of the opposition. Okay? The way the GCOM apparatus, this runaway train, is going, that's a failure. That's a failure. You get out all your people out there and you shut the street down. No access to GCOM. Shut all ends. No access. If it is that you want it to play nice, let's watch how nice the PPP gonna play now. Let's watch. Let's watch. When blood is in the water, they've already tasted the wealth. Let's watch how they play come September 1st. Because look, September 1st can't come and go, and then you come out in a press conference and cry foul, you know. Because that's not good enough for the 53% of Guyanese that are living in poverty. That's not good enough. Look, guys, I'm not here to hit anybody in particular. I am talking in general. When you ascend to a position as a leader, it is your duty to lead. I don't care who you be. Like I said before, there will not be no kings and queens in Guyana. Stop worshiping people like if they're kings and queens. We all bring some measure of value to the table. All of us. All of you doctors here. Dr. Denise McKenzie, Dr. Neville Seatal, Dr. Danny Kisoon, Dr. Yonette Elias. Comrade Aubrey C. Norton, there's a lot of work ahead of you. There is a whole lot of work ahead of you. And I must tell you, you're not going to accomplish this sitting back. Oh no, you got to get up on the wheel. You got to get up on the wheel. Right? The Guyanese people have expectations. Comrade Norton, you have the resources around you. Yes. Don't want to get too deep into names, but we know the strengths of some of the resources that you have available to you. Tap into them. Tap into them. There is something, you know, when you're a leader, you have to delegate. Oh, yes. When you're leading multiple teams, you have to delegate. And let's go into something here, guys. I just want to make a point. I don't want you guys to get upset. This is an important point I want to make. All right? This is an important point. This is not going after anybody. This is an important point. The leader of the PNCR is Comrade Aubrey Norton. Aubrey Compton Norton. The leader of the APNU is Comrade Aubrey Norton. The leader of the broader coalition is Comrade Aubrey Norton. And he is also the lead presidential candidate. I give you 4. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, in a democracy, I didn't say one thing there. There's one thing I'm missing. And this is what I'm going to address with you guys. In a democracy, there needs to be checks and balances. All right? Now, what I'm going to touch on, I am going to touch on the list. And I'm going to say this. The opposition, all right, they need to address the list. I don't believe that there should be one individual that's the leader of the list. I think it should be a small committee, whether it is 5 or whatever number they so choose to. And if somebody is going to be removed from that list, or if the leader submit a set of names, and the leader can be a part of that committee. Okay, he can choose to be a part of it, or he could choose not to be a part of it. But to have one person, these are the things that are affecting Guyana. These are the things that are affecting the parties. These are the things that are affecting Guyana. And you have to speak to them. You cannot just let them pass because they're going to just continue. They're going to just continue happening. We have to fix proper processes in place. Let the list be led by a team. You guys come together, you guys talk. You guys want to talk about performance, you guys talk about it. And I believe that everybody sitting in parliament, it should be a performance-based situation. Okay? It should be a performance-based situation. If you're not performing, then the leader has a right to call you out and submit your name for removal and replace you with somebody else. This is critical. You've taken an oath to serve a people. You need to serve the people. There's issues within the PNCR constitution that also needs to be handled, like I have spoken about on an earlier program. There needs to be a threshold. If you're going to leave the party, anytime within the period before a year of the election, anytime before that, you can leave. After that, you cannot. And they should have everybody swear an oath to that. But we want to pivot back now to what the opposition has to offer with relation to what the PPP have offered over this last 5 years, right? Because we want to address issues. This is what the election has to be about. It has to be about issues. It cannot be about propaganda. It has to be about the issues. And when you look at the issues across the board, the PPP has failed the people of Guyana miserably. Though having access to billions of dollars, healthcare is still afoot. GPL is still afoot. Barry Jagdeo said by the end of the year, the Guyanese people would get what, a 50% discount with Guyana Power and Light. I think he has what would I say? What would I say? I think he has pivot on that statement now. He has pivot on that statement now. One other thing I want to address also. The Minister of Public Works, Juan Egil. You are responsible and you have tabled in Parliament, and it's also been a part of the budget, an administrative building, right, with a hefty cost of $8.6 billion. My good friend, Miss Annette Ferguson, She's asking Bishop Edghill, where is the administrative building? Where is the construction? Is the construction happening in you, Jagdio, Irfan, and Anil pockets? Because we don't see no tangible building out there that represents that administrative 12-story building, Bishop Edghill. Can you answer that for me, please? The Guyanese people would love to know. You see, these are the type of atrocities that the PPP commit, okay? And they are allowed to walk. Littell, I see you talking about Anil Nandalal. Rickford Burke should file a lawsuit against Anil Nandalal for slandering his name, defamation of character. Rickford should file a massive lawsuit against Anil Nandalal for what he did. And they need to further investigate Rodwell Sarabu. Because you know what? As a police officer, you need to understand the law. I know you in dunce. I know you in dunce. I know that you knew full and well what you was doing to Rickford Burke was wrong. You knew that. And you still went ahead. You knew it. Mr. Burke, I encourage you to file a lawsuit. Don't file no small lawsuit. File a massive lawsuit. Anil Nandalal is too pompous. And you know something, guys? He has been making a lot of errors since Roysdale Ford took his notes back from him. I'll have to reach out to Roysdale Ford and ask him where are those notes to give back to the sitting Attorney General. Because Anil Nandalal, without Roysdale Ford notes, you're a big dunce. I know PPP supporters like to jump up. Oh, Anil. You know? But Anil is the big dunce. Okay? Anil is a big dunce. Rickford, file your lawsuit. You're going to win. You're going to win. And guys, you know something? I want to touch on this since I'm discussing Rickford Burke and this lawsuit and the law. The Chief Justice, the acting Chief Justice, Dennis Mackenzie Wayne, who is going to investigate him when his superior sent him. You know something, Dennis? And you're making a good point, Dennis. But me, being a public accountant, if one of my superiors asks me, Wayne, could you perform this task? Okay? And this task is not aligning with state, depending on the state that I'm working on, and federal regulations. Oh, I'm going to bring it to them. Hey, we're not compliant here. We cannot do this. Okay? This is not legal. This will not be approved by the state. You cannot still then ask me to perform that task. Littell, I'm sure you can add to this in the comment. All right? That's how it works. Rodwell Sarabu, his job requires him to understand the law. There is nothing in the law that would have said that the Guyana police force or Guyana can stretch its tentacles over to the United States to say that it's serving somebody, stretch their arm over to the United States to say that they're serving somebody. But you see, that Attorney General, that guy is just pompous, man. He's just pompous. And what he can be actually doing is providing me and the Guyanese public and Courtney Crum's Ewing mother and father an update on how their child was extrajudicially executed by the PPP. That is what Anil Nandalal can be doing right now. Giving us an update. There's lots of things you can be working on, Anil. The DPP also. We still want to know about Peter Headley. We still want to know about Donald Allison. We want to know about Donna McKinnon. We haven't forgotten. Jagdeo, can you give me any answers on that? Can you provide any clarity, Barry Jagdeo, on Donna McKinnon? When y'all walk in the booth to vote, you all need to think about that. Many of you going to try to blank it out of your head and not think about it, but you're being disingenuous. Think about if that was your family. Think about if Donna McKinnon was your mother. Right? Think about Donald Allison. I got a good friend of mine. He was trained by Donald Allison. His students still miss him. They want justice also. His family wants justice. Look, hey, you guys have never seen Wayne Caesar in a picture with Mark Kozorki, you know. And I've never seen any of you in a picture with Mark Kozorki, you know. But I've seen Barry Jagdeo in a picture with Phantom Squad, Mark Kozorki. This is the same guy that everybody want to go on Thursday and say, oh, our PM. This is the same guy that external governments are willing to come and deal with. And then everybody just want to talk about law and order. Law and order for who? The little man that never gets any justice whatsoever? While the big men them could do tax evasion, murder, and everything and just walk free? We got to get serious. Say it again, Littell. The Chief Justice has said it all in her ruling. In simple words, the actions taken by the government of Guyana were illegal, unconstitutional. Rickford Burke has a strong case. I await to see what Rickford does. Look, you know something? A lot of people went mum when the ERC start serving papers and start doing these type of things to social media. I've never pivoted because I know all the time that the ERC were being illegal. I knew. You can't serve me up just like that. I haven't done anything. All I'm doing is speaking out. What have I done? What have I done? Comrade Aubrey Norton and your new government, you guys need to look at the ERC, okay? You all need to look at the ERC. You all need to look at ERC. You all need to look at GRA also. And you all need to put together entity. Go into Parliament and pass legislation to bring back SARA so that we can recapture monies for the Guyanese people. Go to Parliament and bring back SARA so that we can recapture the money to the Guyanese people. Oh, Barry Jagdeo, I'll come right to Pradoville and shake you right out of that house. that was built on the ancestral lands of the Plaisance people. I'm good for acting. You guys think you're bullies. Like I said, whomever ends up being that presidential candidate from the opposition side, you're putting yourself on the hot seat, because we have to go back to Mocha, okay? And all those people who are buying all the ancestral lands up front, they have to return them. That's what you do. When you get into government, you have to exude some measure of power. The bulldozing and removal of those residents in Mocha was wrong. Listen, I don't give a heck what the Chief Justice had to say. I don't care about it was wrong. Just due to the fact that you guys are putting other people there. What type of picture you think that paints? And just how she came out with her ruling, she had to have known that they're putting people there to come back and say, no, you cannot remove these people from here to put other people. As a Chief Justice or a Chancellor of the Judiciary, you don't have to wait for a case to come before you. If you see something that is morally wrong or something that is wrong in society, you can speak against it. You can speak against it. Pierre Cromwell, I'm trying to get it when it is a lethargic way in which things have been done. Putting sorrow without truth is a waste of time. I think he might be saying putting sorrow in place without powers, without certain powers. We need to lose people. We need to lose these agencies. They need to have the necessary powers to go ahead and exercise their duties. Look, brothers and sisters, look, let's reason. Let's reason tonight. We're going to reason. This is what we do on this program. I don't come before you guys disrespecting you guys by cursing up and using all kind of language. This here, we reason here. This is a group of brothers and sisters coming together democratically and having a reason with regards to our country, the Cooperative Republic of Guyana. We have to put agencies in place. Look, we are looking for a better Guyana. We're not looking to be a Guyana that follows US trends and customs, okay? That follows the English or the British trends and customs. Of course, there's going to be some of those customs baked in to our values and what we do in Guyana. But listen, brothers and sisters, our fabric, our original official fabric, which is Guyana, has been torn apart by the PPP, and we have to rebuild that. We have to rebuild. Look, I know you guys, I know all of you guys are going to agree. We don't want these guns on the street. Imagine imagine an AR-15 is coming out of a home. Are you kidding me? Are you really kidding me? And the PPP is asking to go back in there for 5 more years? Why? For what? That's why I call for debates. For what? We want to make this thing right with our country. We want to develop our country, fully develop our country. But there are going to be some limitations. We have to take our time. We have to study what we're doing. Brothers and sisters, good example. Look at Cummins Lodge. And B-Man was in Cummins Lodge and he was doing a video. The brand new houses that were built, it was like these houses were built in lakes. We spoke a few weeks ago about the coastline and the fact that we cannot be ignorant to the fact that drainage and irrigation always needs to be in place. Look at those new homes built in Cummins Lodge. And when the rains come, what they look like. If you're a Guyanese and you want to put on little tomatoes and little eggplant and some peppers and some stuff, you can't do nothing. It's like you only have a house. And you got to put on long boots to make your way out of the house in the rainy season. What lawlessness! And Irfan Ali comes and screams to the microphone. And that guy comes on Thursdays. And by the way, a reporter did ask him about what Comrade Annette Ferguson was talking about with that administrative building. And he seek to dismiss her. He dismissed the reporter. It's like, get out of here. Where are you going with that question? Well, we want to know. 8.6, let's round it up. $9 billion. We want to know where $9 billion went. Who pocket it went into. We could have looked after our pensioners. We could have done some reform when it came to the Palms. Comrade Norton. The Palms, Uncle Eddie Home, all these places. Come on, man. Not because somebody is probably on their last. It means that they must be treated like garbage and live in garbage. Not because that. Whatever happened to our dignity and respect? Whatever happened to our dignity and respect for our pensioners who would have handed this Guyana that we have here over to us? You young Guyanese of African descent men. The young ones. You're the future. The ancestors are watching you. Okay? They are watching you. Why? Because they have an expectation of you. You see that village that you live in? Whether you're from Victoria, Plaisance, Moko, BV Triumph, it was those ancestors that would have put together the little that they had and purchased those villages that you could walk around in and give you the opportunity, give your great-grandparents, your grandparents the opportunity. And you choose to walk around your villages. Not all of you, but many of you with guns. Hey, listen to me carefully. There are proper role models out there. Identify them. Align yourself with them. Okay? Align yourself with them. Come on this program, leave a comment and a number or whatever, however you want to do it. And I'll reach out to you and I'll speak to you. There is more to life than what you're doing. You can trust me on that. Don't allow anybody to abuse you and shatter your dreams. Nah, man. No. We have a platform here. I have a platform here. Brothers and sisters, let's use this platform to empower people. We've gotten too selfish. Everybody's all about money and power. Okay? I'm going to talk to some of the social media presenters also. All of you come on and is looking for likes and is looking for attention by cursing and going on and all that stuff. Nah, you're defeating the purpose. You are defeating the purpose. How can you behave like that and then call yourself a role model? Role model for who? Role model for who? I ask you that question. I don't care. Some of you like to come out and threaten people and all of that. I'm not the guy to be threatened. I'm not the guy to be threatened. I'm not. I'll tell you that straight up. I am not. We got to do this right. Okay? There is place for everyone. But if you're serving the Guyanese people, serve them with a measure of dignity, a measure of respect, a measure of love. Okay? Do that. All right? Do that. All right, brothers and sisters. We're getting done. We're getting close to closing time. But this election cycle, right? The saying is, in order to win it, you have to be in it. All right? In order to win it, you have to be in it. Let's have those conversations. Let's talk to our neighbors. Let's walk the communities. Let's get involved in our politics. You know why, Guyanese? Too many young people have died. Too many people are living in poverty. The matriculation rate is 24%. These are things in a country that has less than 1 million people is just flat out atrocious and unheard of. But yet you have a PPPC government that sits there. Okay? Remember, these guys are not connected to the people on the ground. These guys are connected to money and power. That's what they're connected to. But here, the guys that are connected to money and power could never outweigh the masses. That's the thing. The masses always have the advantage. Okay? Always. That's why I urge Guyanese. And when I urge Guyanese, I don't urge one ethnic group. I am urging all 6 ethnic groups. You guys need to come together and recapture your country. All right, Carlisle. We'll see if we can get there, get to 9 o'clock. We'll try. Okay? We have to come together and recapture our nation. I know there are many people, retirees that are on this program, that watch this program. You know why? They call me. And we speak. Oh, they would love to establish a home in Guyana. They would love to go back to their country and live, whether it's 6 months out of the year or 8 months out of the year or whatever it is. But are you telling me that Guyana is attractive for them to come and make that investment when they seen a young man running in the street with an AR-15? You guys tell me. You guys make it make sense for me. Make it make sense. And this is the same government that is trying to say they are for the people. This government, this autocratic government that does not engage the opposition, that has so many resources. They could have just picked up David Patterson and say, you know what, we're handing GPL to you. Because the opposition complained and say, here, take GPL. Here's the money. Let's see what you guys can do with it. Dr. Adams should have never been removed, because Dr. Adams was providing national service to Guyana, not AFC or APNU service to Guyana. I can speak to that because I speak to these people. Dr. Adams was serving in the best interest of Guyana. That's why things were so tight at the EPA. And that Trump guy, Rex Tillerson, he was having a very difficult time. Because what? Dr. Adams was hell-bent on sticking with the laws and the rules and regulations. That's the type of servants we need in Guyana. Now, when you ask about oil and gas, Jack Dio say, that's not a question for me. That's a question for Vic. Come on, that's not good enough. That's not good enough. You're talking about a natural resource that is bringing in most of the revenue right now in Guyana. All right. Comrade Norton, this is another area. Okay, oil and gas. Gotta really tap in and own in on that. Right? We can't wait. The opposition cannot wait until it's in government. The plans already got to be in place. This has to be a running start government. This government must hit the ground with a running start. I know the treasury and all of that stuff would have to be rebuilt and all of that stuff. The monies will have to be replenished because the PPP probably leaves the treasury empty and these type of things. The opposition is going to have a major scramble, ladies and gentlemen. All right, let's do some educating here. All right, it's going to be tough for the new government in Guyana. Most of the business people belongs to the PPP. And if they decide not to move money around, there can be an issue with cash flow. And that's one of the things that Guyanese were complaining about under the David Granger-led coalition. Why? Because the coalition stripped down the economy, right? There wasn't oil. The Guyana economy was built on racketeering. It was built on cocaine, all right, amongst other things. That was your economy. And whatever little gold and whatever was moving around, that is what your economy was. We don't need to be moving cocaine in Guyana. We don't want it around our children. We don't want it around our adults. The amount of adults now that you see that they're calling addicts, quote unquote, junkies. I don't like to use that word, but I'm just telling you guys what they call them. The amount of those type of people that is walking around Guyana is a crying shame. It shows you exactly what is happening. It's showing you exactly how drugs is eroding our society in Guyana. Thank you, Mr. Henry Fordyce, confirming. He said Mr. Aubrey Norton already has a plan for the oil and gas industry. I do not disagree with that. I do not disagree with that. All I'm doing, I'm calling out. They need also prison reform. They need prison reform. You might got a few young men put away for a few little blunts here and there and stuff like that. We got to find ways, all right? We have to find ways to reform young people and incorporate them back into society. All right? We need to get such agencies in place. And if they're already there, we need to have them functioning properly, serving the cause that they were put in place to serve. Our school system. All right. The buildings, the school buildings, they need to be standardized with standardized regulation for electricity, water, and everything. Classroom, whether it's AC, whatever it is. The indigenous people, the young indigenous girls, especially who have to go down and bathe at a lakefront and all of that, open in the sight of men, not right. We need to have proper facilities for the indigenous people. We need to have proper roads for the indigenous people. We have to do more modernization in the indigenous communities. Sister Dawn Hastings Williams, the Honorable Dawn Hastings Williams, and Brother Marvin Williams, Honorable Marvin Williams, and the Honorable Member of Parliament Ronald Cox, and also the Prime Ministerial candidate, the Honorable Miss Joretta Fernandez. These people, amongst others, need to get into those indigenous communities. Those two shouts need to work with the new government. We need to put carbon credits and these kind of things in place for those villages. I don't know what has been going on with the carbon credits. I'll have to invite Dr. Adams. He's definitely going to be here before elections. I can give you guys some heads up of individuals who are going to be here before elections. You're going to have Dr. Adams. You're going to have the Honorable Senior Counsel and Member of Parliament Royce Ford is going to be here. Let me just give you guys an update. Royce Ford is on the ground. He's campaigning. He's doing his work. I've also spoken, and he put out Royce had a very excellent piece also dealing with the Anil Nadalal situation. An excellent piece. So if you guys get a chance, go to Village Voice and take a read. All right. Also, there was an excellent piece written by the Honorable Christopher Jones. All right. All of these guys are working. I can tell you that. I can tell you that. I think the PNC right now, they're hitting, they're going on all cylinders. The cylinders are starting. They got to get to 12 cylinders. I think they're at 8 now. There's 4 more to go. All right. But that locomotive is moving. We want it moving a little faster though. We would like to see it moving a little faster. Look, brothers and sisters, if this elections is free and fair, it should be a cakewalk for the opposition. Guyanese people are not stupid. The PPP have impacted their own people. There's a good chance that those people are going to stay home. There's a very good chance that those people are going to stay home. And for you, Comrade Norton, your new incoming government, here is an opportunity for you guys to capitalize. Oh, yes. You guys have been visiting the rice farmers. All right? You guys have been visiting the rice farmers. You guys have been speaking to the sugar workers, which is good. Which is very, very good. The other thing that you guys as a new government have to put in place, y'all got to make sure y'all have mechanism in place so that the PPP will not undermine you guys. Where you start seeing an uptick in murders and execution and these type of things under your government, because this is something that the coalition has been able to really stay clear of. I have requested a list from PPP supporters, a list of people that were killed extrajudicially under the coalition or PNC government, and I have not received anything. I have not received anything, brothers and sisters. No hits, nothing at all. Oh, Wayne Caesar here. Here's the information you requested. Nothing. Under the David Granger-led coalition, there was nothing at the airport that said, if this Guyanese come in, give him our time. Report to us if Rickford Burke is in Guyana. Or I'm making up a name, Ali Singh or Bashar Singh comes to Guyana. Let us know, we're going to arrest him at the airport. Anil Nandalal Barajagdio, Air Fanali, and the entire PPP. You guys know that you are wrong in the Guyanese people. And because Guyanese in the diaspora is speaking out, you understand me? You guys are placing their names at the airport to be harassed. But yet, brothers and sisters, they want to sit down and they want to call themselves a democracy or a democratic government. Where? How? You guys never said, oh, you know something? Mark Benchcap and Rick Fordberg, they're complaining so much. Why don't we have a conference call and try to speak to these guys and see what their gripes are and try to address it? Absolutely not. You guys are the bulldogs, man. We move everything out of the way. We don't speak to anybody. We are the law. Well, September 1st is close. It's closing in PPP. And I assure you that your time will be up. Jagdio, it will be time for you to permanently take your thumbs off of Guyana. You are a failure of a leader. In 23 years, you couldn't even fix GPL and GWI. You had 23 years to do that. If you had fixed those two agencies, Barry Jagdia would have said that you have accomplished something. But all you have accomplished in your time in government is amassing riches, demonstrating power, and under your government, numerous Guyanese would have been extrajudicially executed. So when you guys go to the ballots, all right, you guys know how you're voting. Again, there's an officer that is locked up for the murder of Orrin Boston. But what I would like to know is who is the commander or the leader that would have ordered the Guyana police force to Orrin Boston home, and their reasoning behind ordering the Guyana police force to the home of Orrin Boston. We would like to know. Okay, we would like to know. All right, these are simple things. Also, we would like to know what happened to the officers of East Indian descent whose guns would have also been fired in the execution murder of young Quindon Bacchus. We have one officer behind bars right now. I believe there are a few more that needs to be behind bars that may still be active. Dr. Paul Williams, the Honorable Paul Slow, the Honorable Mr. Clinton Conway. Let's look into that as you guys are sent to power after September 1st. Let's address everything that needs to be addressed. The flea. Ian Williams, my brother. I am suggesting that the airport at Ogle shut down on the 2nd of September to stop the criminals from fleeing. Basically, this is what Ian is saying. Because you remember when Charindas Prasad leave out, and he's probably thinking that after this election, Barry Jagdio and them will try to run and flee the country. Let me tell you something. I didn't want to touch on this because it's a touchy area. From an external position, many may not want Comrade Norton, and they know exactly why. Because he's going to execute his duties. The PPP should not just allow to leave power and walk. Okay? There's a lot of questions to be answered from a financial perspective. I know Anil Nandalal would have tried to put some laws in place that they cannot be they cannot really be questioned about the mismanagement with regards to the wealth of the Guyanese people. Oh, Mary Figueroa, where are they going? Oh, maybe to Dubai. Jagdeo may end up in China. I don't know. Yeah, we have a lot of stuff from a financial perspective, a lot of questions to answer, right? We had $3 trillion budgets. We have not started really to account for the time that the PPP has been in government from the Public Accounts Committee perspective. Comrade Norton, the Public Accounts Committee needs to be addressed. I don't believe that the Public Accounts Committee should only have government officials in it. There should be selected external officials. There should be a few officials from in the diaspora that is on that board. It should become a board where we really look into how the country's finances is being spent. I believe we have to get cleaner as a country. I believe we're very filthy. The things that we do is very lackluster. It's kind of being disrespectful to the citizens, basically. With us having a public accounts committee that is so far in the rears, it is shameful, disgraceful. That's what I talk about when I speak of standards in Guyana. We need to improve upon that. And we have the necessary resources to attack those areas, not forgetting the honorable former Minister of Finance, Winston Jordan. Can't forget him, could never forget him, could never leave him out of anything. Please be sure to get him involved. All right. Look, we want to go and we want to play geopolitics and we want to play on the world stage. We have to put the best out there. All right. We have to put the best out there. We need a quorum that looks like the Guyanese society, 6 ethnic groups, people like the Honorable Christopher Ram. We need all these gentlemen, GHK Lal. We need all of these guys to be involved. This is about Guyana. This is not about no specific individual. There is no one-man leader that is going to change Guyana. It is going to take a quorum in coordination with the people to actually change the country. Okay, no one man is going to change Guyana. Let's be sure on that. Okay, all right. 8:50, guys. We're getting there. Keith W, good evening. Cheryl Barker, good evening. Rhonda Lane, I see you there. Basil Bradshaw, the Honorable Mr. Basil Bradshaw, good evening to you, sir. Miss Lachman Aziz. Brother Carl Miller, good evening. Ian Williams again, so true Hector, good evening. Henry Fordyce, good evening. Good evening, everybody again. Pierre Cromwell, good evening. Good evening. Yes, brothers and sisters, as I prepare to wrap for tonight, all right, we have to continue to keep our eyes on the ground. Guyanese people, this is a critical election for you guys. It is the first election in an oil-producing nation. You should not allow yourself to be intimidated by Sheriff Corporation or anyone. The opposition should be on top of this to make sure that Sheriff Corporation is not using their vehicles to go to the place of polling to intimidate any of the voters. All right, the polling station workers. The polling station workers, your eyes need to be peeled. Coalition, please vet your people. Please vet your people and be sure to have tea, breakfast, and dinner for them. All right, have the serving vehicles going around and serving the people. Don't have the people having to leave the polling stations. Have replacements or a substitute to go and just stand there. If somebody has to go to the bathroom, just stand and keep their eyes there. Somebody have to go to the bathroom. We cannot allow the lapses that would have happened the last time, because these are things that happen. These are things that happen, and I've heard about them. I've heard about people being hungry and all this kind of stuff. These are things that need to be fixed right. Okay? Local government elections, we had a little bit of a disaster with Letem. These kind of things can't happen. September 2nd, September 3rd, September 4th, we don't want to be hearing these nonsense. We need to be on top of this. This is critical. I know sometimes people can be passive because they're already in government, they're working as MPs and as leader, and they're receiving a salary. But when we go in there, it's not about ourselves. It's about those 53% of Guyanese that are in poverty. We have to move Guyana forward. All right? The coalition has the solutions. All those small parties, the vision that I see coming out of those small parties are also very powerful. Those resources should be tapped into. This is not a one-man or a one-party race. Like I said before, this is a big banap. This is a quorum, and we all have to come together. And sometimes we've got to shed our egos. If somebody come and bring you a good idea, you have to look at it. You have to consider it. If it's an excellent idea, you have to go with it. Not because you were not the person to bring that idea or you were not that person to think about that. It is going to be squashed and torn down. There must be togetherness. As we prepare to close, brothers and sisters, Guyanese, we're about 9 weeks out. Okay? We're about 9 weeks out. It is not going to be an easy 9 weeks. And like I tell you before, grab your drink and your popcorn. And no basic popcorn. You got to have caramel or cheese or something. Because this is a ride. This is going to be a ride. Okay? And at the end of it, it should be victory for all Guyanese. Definitely, we have to get a change of government in Guyana. And I don't want to hear about regime change. Regime change is when an external force is responsible for the change in government. Because just how you have regime change, if the external forces does not agree with what your government go in there and do, the next election you will see regime change again. And there would never be any balance in your country. Your country would never be able to consistently develop. Okay? All right, brothers and sisters. This time, guys, I say to all of you, all the love in the world, enjoy the rest of your weekend. All right? And just hope that we don't have an eventful weekend this coming week as we had this one. It's a smooth week that the opposition is able to focus on strategy and start putting together rallies. Need to be rallies again. My last call, I believe that there should be debates. I would love to see some debate, but I know the PPP will not bite on that because they don't seem to have, the testicular fortitude to step to the plate with Aubrey C. Norton and his team. Until next weekend, brothers and sisters, take good care of yourself. Love you, love you, love you. Over to you. Good night.
Persons can do so peacefully, and they can, but blocking the road for hours is something that affects
Mr. Ali, I saw you blocking road. Yes, Mr. Ali.
I'm just telling
Mr.
you.
Ali, there are videos with you protesting, you being a scrape and a tug. Mr. Ali, this is not, listen, sometimes we gotta put our position aside.
No, this is not position.
No, we gotta put our position aside and place ourselves into people's shoes. You gotta understand, even those persons who were traveling, yes, they were inconvenienced, but they understood the reason They understood the reason. We understand the inconvenience.
That's what the police do. The police guilty. The police guilty. The police guilty. The police guilty. Are you guilty, man? Are you doing this, man? Are you doing this? Are you doing it? Are you fucking doing it, man? Are you doing this? Are you doing it? Are you doing it? Are you doing it? Are you doing it? That is saying 7 feet 6 inches, 5 feet 5 inches. If you look at it, right? They're saying 5'5". They're saying 7'6". They're saying 8 feet. So for 8 feet is reasonable depth for a pool. So you would have to go in and check in the pool, right? The young lady is not in the pool. So it could be ruled out that she drowned.
We checked this pool this morning. What? We checked this pool this morning. This young lady was not in this pool. This girl was not in this pool. This girl was not in this pool. She was not in here. We checked in this pool. The girl was not in there this morning when we come here. We went in this place. This girl was not in here. The girl was not in there, boy. What the fuck? They put this girl in this pool, boy. The fucking girl that went in there. We went in there just now, boy. What the fuck, boy? That's why they didn't want nobody come in the place. They didn't want nobody come in the place. What? What? That girl was not in the pool. We was here since 7:40 this morning. That girl was not in the pool at 7:40. She was not in the pool at 7:40. What the girl knee has scrape up. Watch how this girl is. The girl knee scrape up. Clearly shows.